500 years ago today, Ferdinand Magellan and his expedition reached the Philippine archipelago. When they arrived in Cebu, a native chieftain befriended them and agreed to be baptized alongside hundreds of the local villagers. In celebration of the first Filipino Catholic's conversion to faith, the conquistador gifted the chieftain's wife a small statue of the child Jesus. For the next years, succeeding attempts of expeditions to the country were unsuccessful. With no one to accompany them in their newfound faith, natives returned to their pagan gods and rituals. Interestingly, they sustained their reverence to the sacred image. 45 years after their first arrival, another set of Spanish expeditions led by an Augustinian priest reached the shores of the island of Cebu. The image of Santo Niño symbolized hope for the fast-growing Christian faith, when it was found miraculously unscathed inside a wooden box lying among the debris of a burnt village. From here on, churches after churches proceeded to be built throughout the country, starting from the nearest islands in Visayas, to mainland Luzon, and even to some parts in Mindanao. The churches function as structures for religious practice, refuge from the Moro pirates, and, most essentially, an integral part in molding the Visayans Catholic faith. St. Michael the Archangel Parish of Lauang, Northern Samar, was intentionally structured for defense from Moro pirates. Drawing attention to its antique facade are the statues of St. Michael the Archangel, Mama Mary, St. Paul, and St. Peter installed in its niches.
It gives us a space to pray and to express humility and gratitude. Na merong lugar na hahayaan nating ma-feel ang kapayapaan.
St. Joseph Cathedral in Antique was built in 1766 by Augustinian friars. Although the church has been remodeled by modern parishioners, traces of its colonial design is seen in its walls and stairway going to the convent.
So, way back in 2013, it is the first time that I joined the youth ministry. Back on that day, the church for me is just a place wherein I could give my service to the Lord. At this stage of my life, the church had been a comfort, a shelter, and a dwelling place wherein I could recharge myself, wherein I could ask God for another strength, another guidance, and another blessing. So I really hope that the young people today would see the church not only as a place or not only as a structure wherein we could attend mass or wherein we could see people praying, but also a place for them wherein they could give themselves and offer themselves to God to serve.
The Most Holy Name of Jesus Parish in Aklan is famous for its Hati-Hatihan Festival, celebrating its fiesta during January 14 to 15. In between those dates, events such as Search for Mucha Aglakan it Kalibo Hati-Hatihan, festival parades, and Higante contest are flocked by locals and
Dahil man sa simbahan nga ra, mas naging confidence ako sa akong sarili. Dahil sayod ko, I am the one who proclaim the words of the Lord.
Standing tall since 1852, Our Lady of Guadalupe is one of the oldest churches in Negros Occidental. Even up to this day, the coral-made walls are still intact with plants and animal fossils visible when observed up close.
Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish, situated at the municipality of Valladolid, Negros Occidental, is a 170 years old Catholic church built more than a century ago between 1851 to 1852 and is also considered as one of the oldest churches in Negros Island.
Santo Niño Church of Tacloban was remodeled thrice. It traces its humble beginnings in 1596 as a chapel made of nipa and other light materials. In 1860, Franciscans built a Romanesque structure for the parish. Attaining severe damage due to Super Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, the church was again renovated into a modern minimalist design. The San Antonio de Padua Church in Negros Oriental was built in mid-19th century. It boasts of Romanesque architecture, standing out from the usual Baroque Rococo-inspired designs of most Philippine churches.
Growing up, this church played a huge part in me as well as my family. This has been our place of worship and prayer. All my life, this church taught me to grow and become closer to God. This has become my routine from being the kid who attends Sunday school to becoming the teenager in the youth ministry and now a missionary making all youths know Christ.
During the hottest time of the day, Bohol's Baclayon Church remains cool due to its thick walls constructed from pulverized corals and limestones, and made intact by egg yolks donated by villagers.
One interesting thing about this church is the mysterious face of a man on one of its pillars. Some says this image is Padre Pio of Petrelcina.
Our Lady of Miraculous Middle Parish in Iloilo was constructed and reconstructed for centuries long due to natural and man-made calamities. Still, it pushed through, thanks to the community's remarkable unity and strong will. The Santa Monica Church in Capiz boasts of its arch and antiquated windows. Built in 1774, statues of St. Thomas, St. Augustine, and St. Monica are built on its wall crannies.
The church is given that it is a sacred place of worship. Me, myself, experienced the true presence of God, especially in the most blessed sacrament, where the true essence of wholeness and holiness will be experienced.
Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Cathedral was built in 1860. Noticeable in the church's structure is its open-grilled arches at the sides, purposefully designed to regulate the ventilation inside. The cathedral lies at the heart of Naval Biliran, a municipality in eastern Visayas. But beyond the historic and aesthetic structure, the church's legacy is seen today in the vibrance of Catholic Filipino youths. It has been 500 years like no other. The mark of the 5th century is not a mark of the finish line. Rather, it is a mark of affirmation on the church's length of reach and a point of where we can go further from. The question is, from here, where do we go?